Hello, and welcome to the Trial Guide's Tip of the Day. My name is Michael Leeserman. I'm here today with Jesse Wilson. His new Trial Guide's book, The Most Important Juror, Embrace the Winning Story in Jury Selection, Opening Statement, and Rebuttal, comes out today. So, Jesse, thank you for being here. I wonder if you could give us a world preview, if you could give us a sneak preview of a tip from this new book of yours.
I absolutely would. Hot off the presses. Just so happens I got it right here, Michael. First of all, thank you for having me. Here's the quote. In your desire to put together the best story you can in front of your jurors, don't forget this. The biggest bias, besides the notion that your client looks fine because they are a fine defense argument, is still the bias towards you. All the more reason to not forget about the most important juror, you.
Oh, the most important juror is me, the lawyer?
It's you, man. You and only you. You bet.
Now, that's so interesting to me because, I think that sometimes lawyers are too full of themselves. Um, and
Right.
so what do you mean by that?
Yeah. What do I mean by that? Well, listen, I'm not the first person to write the book or to say how important it is to be real, to be authentic, to be you. Trial Lawyers College, it begins with you. But what does that mean? I think it sounds great, but what does it mean? And how, how does that translate into the courtroom? Because it often will come across to many lawyers that I work with. It would be the equivalent of a really bad acting teacher say, just make me feel, damn it. Just make me feel. Well, what does that mean? How do you work with that? So what does it mean to be the most important juror, to your point, when so many lawyers are full of themselves? I'm not talking about arrogance. I'm not talking about ego. That's a separate thing. I'm talking about getting yourself on board. What do I mean by that? Well, the golden rule is so frowned upon, understandably, in the courtroom. But I think that the problem with it is that it's so feared. Oh my God, I'm going to violate the golden rule, that lawyers forget about how powerful the golden rule is and why it works. One of the last things I see after the case framing and the presenting, and do I start with the defense story or the plaintiff story or this and that and that and all the different elements that you want to have to put together in the trial. One of the last things that I see being, oh yeah, I forgot about that, is golden ruling yourself. If this happened to me, how would I feel? That's the moral outrage. That's the moral framework, as Rick Friedman talks about. If you begin with the end in mind, if you start with the most important juror, if this happened to me, how would I feel? That's what gets you on board to the right role that you need to be in front of your jurors. That's what gets you into the right conversation. That's what I mean. Put yourself in the car with the kids who've been killed. Put yourself in the hospital room with the dying wife. Put yourself in your client's shoes and truly see it through their eyes. You and your client are one. That's what I mean by the most important juror. And I feel like that most of the time, that's a intellectual exercise rather than an emotional one. And what I'm interested in is making it an emotional one, making the lawyer have a personal experience to the reality of the statement that the most important juror is you, Mike.
I love that. So it's not how am I doing or how am I presenting? It's actually putting yourself in the story and bringing what I would say my authentic self, bringing my true self to
Absolutely.
the courtroom.
Absolutely. And if we're talking about the arrogance and the ego, which of course we know is a constant obstacle for yours truly as well, obviously, that we're welcome to planet Earth. I've often said this. I said this in my first book, and I'm saying, and I'm repeating it in this book, is that the right telling of your client's story has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with your client, but it has everything to do with you to make it all about them. That's the emotional, authentic piece that I'm exploring here.
Yeah, and to get a little, or more than a little, to get spiritual about it, I actually believe this
Sure.
is true at a very deep level. I believe and I won't put you could put different religious language on it, but I believe when uh, a company or a person acts unsafely and kills someone else's child, that they have killed my child in a very real way. And so when we start to experience that and bring that to the courtroom, that can be unbeatable.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But you got to feel that within you. You got to believe it. Otherwise, it's a script, it's a parlor trick. And the longest journey, as you know, is from the head to the heart. And once you get to the heart place, then yeah, now your moral outrage becomes ours. That's the power of being the most important Jew.
Right. Well, thank you for being here. Your new book is out today, The Most Important Juror, and hopefully everyone out there has both of your books soon. Is there an order in which they should read them? Does it matter? Read the first and then the second?
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And the good news is the first chapter addresses what do I mean by the victim to victor, which is a popular approach that I teach. And so the answer to your question is no. It's a bonus if you do, but it's not a prerequisite either.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being here. Good luck on the book sales. I know that people are waiting for this new book to come out, so I'm sure we'll do great.
Michael, thank you for being such a great friend and great supporter, man. I really appreciate being on here.
Let's take a deep breath together. Just be grateful to be alive this Tuesday. May the work that we do today help to reduce the suffering in the world. May it help repair the world. May we fiercely and compassionately advocate for our clients, championing their causes and doing good in the world. I'm going to ring a bell 3 times now. This can take you into a meditation practice, a prayer practice, or just let the sounds pierce you and wash over you and remind you it's Tuesday. Wake up, go out, do good things, and have fun while you're doing it.